Hey, Richard. I think that the bear market was probably one of the best things that could have happened because it did show the whole community in crypto how right you were for such a long time. So that's kind of like a silver lining with this bear market. So
Yeah,
I
we put on
appreciate that.
like I don't know, maybe 6,000 new followers, maybe something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Every bit
And
helps, dude. I can't save these people if they don't hear my words.
I hear you, man. So I do have one question for you. We've got some people in this chat, and we've got people from the Ethereum side and maybe other places that are kind of not doing too well. Um, what types of things would you like to see built as the founder of pulsechain? What types of things would you like to see built on pulsechain to
Well,
just
here's the
make it
funny thing.
well rounded? Yeah.
Here's the funny thing, right? I almost don't give a shit if anyone builds on Pulse Chain because why do I need that? We got all the tickers, we got all the trading. It's the same fucking code. So do we need more? You want to trade Link? Cool. We got Link. Same code, same ticker. You want to trade Ethereum? Cool. We got Ethereum. We got bridged in Ethereum, and we got fucking Pulse Chain that you got for free. So like, why do I care if someone launches 20 more shit coins and tries to like suck all the liquidity? Like it just this. Do you see Vitalik shilling ERC20s? No, you do not.
Regularly, no.
Okay. Why? Because he doesn't fucking own an ERC20, so he doesn't give a fuck whether the price goes up or not. And does Ethereum do very well? Yes, Ethereum does very well. And so it's like it's like I was telling you about, like if people go out there and scam and then take their winnings from scamming and put it in Hex, Hex goes up. But if people go out there and scam and take their winnings and put it into fucking dollars and go buy Lambos, then just all the prices go down. So like it matters. This whole like make a bunch of shit coins and then think it makes the world better. By and large, I do not believe that it does. I care about anonymity, privacy, barely care about throughput. It's okay. Um, I care about transaction fees, and I care most about mad gains. And when you spread your price energy across 10 different tickers, guess what, motherfucker? They all can't go up. You have X amount of money. Unless you do this rehypothecation reflexivity shit, which is what they've been doing. And then like you buy one coin and then it puts its money to another coin, and it puts its money to another coin. And then when they fail, they like domino down, cascade fail. None of my stuff does that shit. We don't have like inflation bugs on the way down like Luna had. We just have standard, slow, normal inflation. So we don't get negative 10,000x shit. We get normal crypto shit. So it's like basically the premise of your question is like, we want to launch more coins. Please sell us coins, please. And I'm like, no, don't launch any more fucking coins. Go spread the good word about the coins that we've got,
And I told you, yeah.
I'm gonna be trying to promote those things as much as possible. And yeah, like that's the niche we're really trying to fulfill. Is we're going to be serving the broader community, not just the Richard coins, but everybody else. And we're doing that with all of our platforms, right? Fiat's going to do that. Fatty's already doing it. And Fame will even do it to the extent that we're going to use stable coins potentially that come from the community. And if other tokens become big enough and liquid enough, like let's think Hedron, for example, or maybe PHUX someday, they'll be there too. So we really want to partner with everybody that's doing these things, and I think we've proven that we're serious about what we're doing and that we're long term. We wouldn't be building something like Fatty, which we're not even directly monetizing, if we weren't here to, be around for a long time. We're spending a lot of money building that,
Yeah.
right? And it's never going to directly pay us, right? So but that's why we're doing it. Yeah, we want this community to succeed, and I really believe that the thing that's going to make your PulseX and your Pulse and your Hex bags pump is actually going to be all the speculation that happens underneath it. Right. So all that value ultimately pushes up those main Richard coins in the next cycle. Yeah, I think that's what gets me excited about Pulse Chain. I've never been a big believer in, the code of the T-share magically making hex price go up. That's never been my view. I've never been a big believer in, the code of the T-share magically making hex price go up. That's never been my view.
Who can't see through this stuff? This ceramic wrap. This see-through. This plastic as hell. No. No, 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 no. This ain't set up for you.
But I am a believer in, people building interesting use cases, whether it's in NFTs or DeFi or whatever, meme coins, whatever, that ultimately bring users and speculation over to pulsechain. That is something I believe actually pushes up the value of your hex bags and your pulse X bags and your pulse bags. So if you're just like the most toxic Richard Hart Maxi, that's great. I think I'm helping you. I really do. Even though I get a lot of hate from these guys who think that I'm somehow diluting their bags, I see it as exactly the opposite. These maximalists are actually doing very little for the community other than actually just being sell pressure. And you see this. You know what I mean?
Got me fucked up. Got me fucked up.
They're not really bringing new users over because it's hard to onboard people when your token's going down, right? We all know that. There's not a lot of people that want to be onboarded to Hex right now. But hey, I think if people see multiple X's coming out of PHUX and Fiat and Fame and Mintra and liquor loans and other things like that, they're going to say, hey, what am I missing out on here?
No, 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 no.
T-share rate versus the APY. The T-share rate is a yellow line, and the T-share rate essentially determines how many hex you need in order to acquire one T-share. Right now, currently that number is at 17,051.2 hex per T-share. The APY is at 37.89%, and as you guys can see, the ratcheting mechanism for the T-share rate will constantly drive the APY higher. So it's merely a matter of how many T-shares you have as a function of what the system is going to pay. Because ultimately, if yields do get driven down, it'll be a function of staking. If the because the T-share rate is going to be higher moving forward, right? So the only way APY can go down is if staking becomes a major factor, right? Meaning the pool doubles, the staking pool doubles or increases by 50% or something of that fashion. It has to be a significant increase. But again, in conjunction with bond math, this would dictate that price is actually going to move up significantly in order to address that balance, right? Because bond math states that it's a scale. And it's a scale because it's an instrument that pays a yield, and given that it pays a yield, the price must match that yield in order to reflect that risk characteristic. So it's really just a control system that's embedded in the mathematics of the product. It's nothing more than that.
Let's be real, people. Like, you want the gains, and if you are using something like a compound bonded yield over time and you're front running it because you're front running a T-share price increase that goes up forever, just as an example, because I'm not against Bitcoin or ETH either. I think they will, they're going to go up in price too because their supplies are also fixed relative to money print mode, right? So we need to revalue things in cryptocurrencies, and we need to stop thinking in legacy means, right? Because time times energy is the ultimate root to technology. It's also, you don't want to be putting your time and your energy into something that's going to be debased from you forever. I think, again, if we can just remind people of these facts, maybe it'll help. Hex.com, the compound bonded yield cryptocurrency. Why is a T-share so important? Well, for one, it went up in value from 60 cents all the way up to $10,000 in less than 2.5 years. But not only that, it's divisible indefinitely for our means, and it's 1 trillion of something. When have you ever owned 1 trillion of anything? You know what I mean? 1 trillion of something that has went from 60 cents to 10,000 US dollars, and you can have $1 trillion of this asset, right? And then as those get out of reach in dollar terms in the future, the decimal place moves, and people can buy only 100 billion, and then only can buy 500 million. And the point is that through the natural bull and bear market cycles of this asset, underlying asset, the Hex cryptocurrency, there's going to be opportunity to buy cheap and opportunity to sell high for a long time. Right now, people are trading Hex for money. I mean, it runs up and down 160% in a week, and then it goes down like 80%. And so there's like huge opportunity there with the volatility to make money. So people are using it like a vehicle right now, you know, and its uses will change over time, right? So as the market grows and matures, eventually the Hex asset will have a big enough liquidity pool that it will sustain its own kingdom or its own economy. And yeah, we're not there yet, but anyone with anyone that's been in earlier can start to see the yield form in their T-shares. They understand the system, and they're not turned off by it. They want more. Like most people want more of these things. Receive daily reward paid in Hex. Bitcoin miners pay for overhead costs to protect the network and receive daily reward paid in BTC. So they're similar to the systems like total T-shares. This total T-share chart, total yield generating assets in Hex are deflationary to protect the system over time, meaning this curve is going to curve down because eventually, as the share rate continues to tick up, as it's programmed to do, they become rarer and more expensive in US dollar terms. And because they become more expensive, they obviously become more expensive because the thing that they're pumping out is worth more. So they only become rarer and more expensive because they're yielding more. They're generating more for their long-term holders. So with Bitcoin, the total supply of Bitcoins to ever be mined are deflationary. That's by its fixed nature, and deflationary as in inflation gets cut in half every 4 years, and that protects that system over time. So they're both using deflationary models effectively.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Crypto Wonder. Welcome to the Crypto Wonder Show. So I just want to hope that you're doing well. Take some time out to ask you to smash the like button. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and let's get right into it. So, you know, I put these clips up to sort of like, you know, pretty much denote some of the things that have been going on in the ecosystem. You know, you have like I heard this guy who created an exchange, this gentleman Buck Fiat. I don't know who he is, or I don't know who he is, and you know, he created something for the pulsechain ecosystem, and some of the things that I mean, again, with these projects that are coming out to pulsechain, my thing is they got to prove their salt. You know, and only time is gonna tell how good they are. You know, only time. And that's unfortunately how it is, like for people like me, because we've been in crypto for a while and we've experienced the good and the bad, and we've learned from the bad, and we understand that we don't want to keep experiencing anything bad. So I don't trust anybody like that. So, you know, they got to prove their salt. The problem with all that is because the Hexicans have gotten scammed, and even before I was in Hex, I've experienced getting scammed a multitude of time over the years being in crypto. You know, it's just what it is. You're gonna stick with what's been winning, even though Hex has been on a downturn for the better part over a year, you know, since the end of 21. The bear market, this current bear market began. It is what it is, but you know, what goes up has to come down and go right back up again. As above, so below. You know, the bull market is gonna resurface at some point, and the important part is solidifying your position. You know, but one thing that I already understand, like my attention has been already divided with pulsechain and pulsex, right? With the derivatives, even by default, even if I didn't buy anything, I'm earning hedron just by mining hex off the bat, just because it's just what it is there. I can't stop it from happening. So in other words, the whole thing of, and I like hedron, I like Icosa, you know, but there are other coins that complement hex or that are present now that I have to now pay attention to apart from hex, right? So my thing is, there's nothing wrong with some people getting involved with what they want to get involved with. It's an open market. It is what it is. It's free open market. Do what you do, but I'm gonna stick to the practices that are going to help me win and have helped others win. You know, I'm gonna stick to listening to the founder that has been sharing his knowledge, his experience about crypto in the space, and has helped thousands of people in his community who have interacted with crypto, who have interacted with hex, and have done well and had nothing but positive experiences. That's what I'm going to deal with. I'm not dealing with anybody else right now. That's me. As far as like folks that are coming into the system and they want to, you know, expand and hope, because look, helping to get the word out is very important. I think it's used, you know, it has its purpose, and that's all good. But just because I'm not crazy about sacrificing into other projects that Richard Hart hasn't done or things of that nature doesn't mean that I'm toxic. In other words, right? Doesn't mean that I have some type of villainous, some angry outlook towards anybody who's coming into the pulsechain ecosystem, whatever. My thing is, don't scam no one, you know. And unfortunately, because of my experiences, I've developed a certain awareness where I'm not, you know, you call it post-traumatic crypto disorder, something like that. Look, man, I trust nothing and anybody's telling me. I barely trust Richard in the beginning, until I saw what the chart did, until I saw what the token did, until I understood what hex was. Okay, so that's what that is. And here I am now. I'm not dividing my attention 100 different ways, and that doesn't mean I'm toxic. That just means I'm vigilant, or I'm trying to be as vigilant and careful and teach my onboards the same, because I don't want them to do something that I necessarily wouldn't do or find out, because they're telling me, they're bringing a lot to me, because I've always encouraged them to do their own research and not just listen to what I'm saying. The information is available. Go do your research. And what they would do is come back to me and sort of like report to me and tell me what they've seen on the internet regarding the community, what they've seen in the Telegram groups, what they've seen on Twitter, what they've seen on YouTube. Buck made a comment that I wasn't crazy about. He said something like, he doesn't believe that the T-share will help the price increase for hex. He doesn't believe that. I still respect the T-share for what it's done and what it's doing. I still respect it. That doesn't make me toxic though. You know, that just doesn't make me toxic. So to say that, I'm not sure what good, you know, it's like, my thing is this: everyone is always good to have some type of adversarial perspective, you know, perspectives that go contrary to what you might believe in, so that, you know, there could be a possible teaching moment or learning lesson. People could have a valid point on the opposing view. Could be extremely valid, and you may learn something and might want to reconsider your position. But after listening to a few interviews that this man has been on, for example, I'm just speaking about him because of what he said. It's not like an attack, or I'm just trying to, like, you know, throw darts in his way. It's just the whole thing of, not many people are really talking about hex as much anymore, or even mining, or even T-share. It's just the whole, everything is talking, is been redirected to meme coins on pulsechain. That's what it hasn't even been. People are not even talking about pulsechain, the token itself, or pulsex. Everyone's just, the focus and the attention now is relying on meme coins. So bringing this to the world to just help people see that, well, Hex is still alive, kicking, and well. We know the price performance, the prices are terrible right now for Hex. It's disgusting. It's damn near disrespectful. We understand that. But listen, I'm not going to dismiss how powerful it's the mechanics is, even, you know, with the time deposit, and when you're thinking about things of that nature, it's incredibly beneficial for people to see what it can offer you over a long period of time. You know, these sentiments about, oh, you know, he doesn't understand about how T-share rate is going to improve Hex performance. It's more so, to me, it seems like he has more of a shorter, he meaning, you know, Buck, he has a shorter time span. Like, he's not really thinking long term. He's not thinking about Hex doing well long term on its own, maybe, or the T-share rate helping Hex price go up, or anything of that sort. So I don't know. So, you know, the stuff that he's introducing, you know, by way of, you know, trading and creating pools and APRs and things of that nature, these things sort of like, seems like they're relating to the immediate short term stuff, you know. I don't know what's up with that, you know what I mean? I'm not a trader. I don't encourage trading. I've been telling my onboards the reason why I'm dealing with Hex is because it sort of like frees me from becoming anxious to do something like sell my bags before it's time, especially when it's locked. And that affords me a certain level of relaxation where I don't have to get caught in some type of hype cycle or FOMO and do something that I'm going to regret. But that's me. You know, there are other ways you can make money. There are other ways you could earn income passively, multiple streams, etc., etc., etc. But the Hex slander, I'm not gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with all that right now. I'm not with all that. I talk about, you know, like, do you know the mechanics? I don't know. I'm just asking. Do you know the mechanics of the T-shirt and how it works and how it relates to Hex? I don't know. But to say certain things and knowing that you're saying these things, and you have people who've been in Hex longer than I have, original people who've been in Hex, investors who've been in Hex, how do they feel? I'm asking y'all too. This is for you, you guys too. Whoever hears this that's been in Hex for the longest, how do you feel about that statement about this guy who just came into the community? Now, and maybe he's been in Hex since day one. That's what they've said too. They've been in Hex since day one, and they've had some type of opposing view towards, you know, Rich's philosophy and T-share rate and all that. That he's been kicked out of groups. Hey, this is just what I've heard him say in different interviews. But how do you feel about those sentiments? Maybe you care, maybe you don't. I know most people really don't care. I know most people don't care either way. But my thing is, something is happening. I see the narrative changing, maybe because it's everything that pulsechain has brought. You know, you got a bunch of dexes coming out now that are already out, and more to come. You know, people weren't prepared or really thinking about it, maybe, or thinking about the consequences or the effect of such things. Who knows? I don't know. But here we are. You know, here we are. I just don't agree with what was said, and he doesn't have to agree with what I'm saying, but it is what it is. Not everybody who's opposed to what they're doing, as far as that collective, the PH crew, not everybody who's opposed to that PH crew is toxic, because I could care less about what they got going on. Seriously. Like, folks want to throw their monies wherever they want to throw their monies. That's their right. I'm not Captain Saber Crypto. I'm just sharing something because I heard something that was said, and I'm not sure. I know I don't agree with it, and this is why. These are the reasons why. You know, diversification. It waters whatever you have going down. It's diluted. Like, how can I expect to really, if I'm working with $1,000 and I'm investing in 100 different things and hoping that one hits, it's akin to me gambling. And I mean, I don't have the time to waste like that, or the money to waste and splurge, or to divide my attention in a multitude of ways, because something always suffers. Something is getting much less of your attention that it deserves. It's already challenging that we have, which I'm not unhappy about. I'm happy we have pulsechain. I'm happy we have pulsex. I'm happy we have these things have launched already, because it's been 2 long years of waiting, going through all kinds of uncertainty and fear, etc., etc. I'm glad they're here, but at the same time, I'm not gonna just get caught up being distracted in more information, or more tokens, or more basket of coins. That's just gonna, again, make me lose focus on what's got me to this point. Okay, I mean, I try to, because I also have to exercise a certain level of responsibility to my viewers and the people who watch me. I have a small channel, but I still am conscious and responsible, and I care about what I say on a device, because you don't know who's listening. You don't know who could react or be affected by whatever you're talking about. That's just me. I like to hold myself accountable and responsible for what I say and what I do. Okay? So it already looks crazy when people come out of nowhere in the community. I'm not saying that's what these guys have done, but anybody who's just coming on to the community or whatever, and siphon the crypto, or want to build their popularity off the hex people, hex ecosystem, and this and that, that's not anything that's new. That's something that's going to continue, but you're going to face some type of criticism, especially because the hexagons have been scammed multitude of ways in the past, and this is what it is. And this is why I say it's like you're guilty before proven innocent. Unfortunately, you got to go through the drama, you got to go through the fire, you got to prove yourself. No one's going to give you a free pass and act as if, like, we believe you. No, we don't believe you. You need more, and not even people. You need your contract, your whatever coins, your product, your platform needs to prove itself. It needs to prove itself. Ultimately, I don't believe anyone out here should have my best interest in their hearts as far as dealing with money. I'm here to respect my money. And no one's gonna respect my money more than me. And that's what it is. And the beauty about Hex is I don't have to trust anybody to pay me every day if I lock the coins. Right? I don't have to trust anybody to understand that, okay, when it's time for me to end a stake, that someone is going to stop me from being able to do that. I don't have to worry about not receiving something that is mine because someone decided to suspend my account. Okay, I don't have to be worried that the chain is going to all of a sudden, or the contract is going to all of a sudden stop working because there's some type of critical flaw, something impeding the process from operating. It's just what it is. So there you go. I understand pulsechain is something that's going to constantly be upgraded and worked upon. The same with pulsex. I understand. It's a blockchain. It's not a contract. I get it. But here we are. We're in the bear market. Keeping true to certain principles and tactics and strategies that work for me. I don't think that makes me toxic. I just think that just allows me to exercise certain type of prudent, provable, good crypto practices. End of story. there's really nothing more. There's really nothing more to talk about with respect to that situation. You know, y'all gonna do y'all. You know, I'm not crypto police. You know, everybody and anybody who has access to the internet and knows what they're doing can participate in decentralized open source platforms and cryptocurrency, etc., etc. So now another thing I want to talk about is you guys that are project leaders and all these types of things. You know, if you didn't know, well, now you know. Rich is not crazy about having projects on the chain. He knows he can't stop it. But my thing was, this whole time, anyone who's had a project or whatever, maybe, I don't know if you've asked Richard to talk to Richard about, but whatever, he's not as social as he was last year and the year before. You know, nowadays things are different. But you've heard him in the spaces. You know, someone asked him, what does he think about, you know, building on the blockchain, and he didn't care for it at all. And he expressed his reasons. And my thing is, none of y'all gave him any smoke about it. And what I mean by that, none of y'all like had a debate or discussion. Not even a debate or discussion. Maybe because you're afraid that you don't want to, you know, have your project disintegrate and mess up your opportunity to get the money from the people. So why would you have a conversation with him when you know he doesn't care for having projects anyway? I get it. Well, a lot of people on the other end, meaning the retail people, the unsuspecting new people, the newbies, what y'all have to realize is you hearing about 10,000x, maybe that's what got you attracted to the community. Because who wouldn't want to experience 10,000x gains? But the likelihood of 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 10,000 projects or coins receiving or amassing 10,000x gains is very, very slim. Okay? It's very slim. So why are you playing yourself? But the choice is yours. You can do whatever you want. And the reason why I'm saying these things is because a bunch of sacrifices came out within the last 2 years, right? That, yeah, it took away from the buying power from people buying Hex or whatever. And these are the points that, and I don't know if this is an aspect that of why Buck would say that also toxic Maxi, because I'm not calling anybody names or anything like that of the sort. Just, you know, talking. And to say that is sell pressure, all they're doing is creating sell pressure. Well, it's not just toxic Maxis that are doing that. It's people who just dumping the coins for the sake of dumping the coins that are doing that. In your opinion, you think it's toxic Maxis, but anybody can create sell pressure. Just because someone has opposing views about you and your ideas and thoughts doesn't mean that the person, you don't know what the other person is doing. I've onboarded people. Sure, it's not to a great large scale, and of course it's not reflected in the charts, but there are people who have Hex on my side. You know? And not everyone is going to agree with your viewpoint, just like not everyone's going to agree with my viewpoint about certain things. 50x at the all-time next bull run, the all-time high for pulsechain and pulsex will be 50x. Come on now. Come on now, like, come on now, like, let's just be for real. Everything that motivated people to really even sacrifice was just the 10,000x narrative. That's what drove people to do a lot of things, whether they want to believe it or not. That's what drove them to sacrifice, because they missed out and they want a piece of that action. 50x is not bad, 10x is not bad, but 10 and 50x is not 1,000, 2,000, 10,000x, you know. So it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, let's be for real, folks. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Let's be balanced. Let's be civil, level-headed, and just present information. Put it on the table instead of like getting into these infighting, exchanging insults, hurling insults, and exchanging weird barbs at each other that just that also creates sell pressure and doesn't add any value to intangible wallets. So with that, folks, I've taken enough of your time anyway. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Be well. Take care.
Heard you speaking in tongues, parables, and fables, distorted sense of reality I won't enable. Heard you speaking in tongues, parables, and fables, distorted sense of reality I won't enable.
You are what you eat. Respect your body from your crown to your feet. As Baba will, yo, let me speak so I could teach my people and let them see. The telling lies to your vision, it's all see-through. I'm a true seeker, never paired with non-believers, not ignorant to the fact that the world was filled with deceivers. C and B, am I really my brother's keeper? Cause some brothers try to cuff your wife and keep her. If that will ever happen to me, a knife will meet ya. Whatever happened to so-and-so, he met the reaper. No grave sites to visit, cremated, he's in the ether. Stoicism, I see you like the eyes of the Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, dead man made you. But the universe is my venue, the masterpiece of life, and the earth is on the menu. Human beings are a product of nature, that's universal.
Heard you speaking in tongues, parables, and fables, distorted sense of reality I won't enable. Heard you speaking in tongues, parables, and fables, distorted sense of reality I won't enable.
Metamorphosis, I'm singing what the chorus is, and more intelligent than a swimming pair of tortoises. I'm flying high and on the ground is where the Taurus is. Pulsechain was launched in May, the month of Taurus is. Sometimes I got a lot of pain and my heart's filled with rage, cause I grew up like a bird in a gilded cage. Imaginary friends were my best ones. I got betrayed too many times, and that was troublesome. I was alone in my cage and I wanted to have some fun. I had to double back and reimagine another one. The alcohol touched my lips as a young gun. I wanted the night to pass over, couldn't wait to see the sun. I was 12 then, and many years later, my job is to help improve broken lives so they can be greater. Eat life, you are what you eat. And don't forget, give thanks to the Creator.
Heard you speaking in tongues, parables, and fables, distorted sense of reality I won't enable.